Welcome to For the Health of It. I'm your host, Corian K. Paget, and this is your number one source for all things sports, health, and fitness related.
Oh, hold on, Coach. What does For the Health of It stand for?
Good question, Austin. The four and For the Health of It stands for our four principles, which are mindset, movement, nutrition, and recovery.
Okay, cool. Let's do it for the health of it then.
Welcome to another edition of For the Health of It. I'm your host, Corian K. Paget, and this is season four. Excuse me, I stuttered a little bit. And today I have with me a very special guest, founder and owner of Lift and Flow Performance, former national second vice president of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Mia Shante. Ms. Mia, how are you doing, ma'am?
I am so great. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for bringing me on.
Yes, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you on. So, like I said, you are the owner and founder of Lift and Flow Performance. So
Yes.
that leads me to believe you're some kind of personal trainer or something of that nature. So tell me a little bit about your background in fitness. Everything good?
Yes, that was on my end, I think, with my headphones. I'm so sorry.
So tell me a little bit about your background in fitness.
Oh gosh, you know what? That question is always a fun one and a challenge to keep short. So, background in fitness, I've always been an athlete,
Okay.
except for in college, which is where I gained all the weight.
All right.
and then I came out here to Los Angeles. This is Lena. And in the start of the fitness journey, like the real start, because everyone kind of starts and stops, right? But the real start where my life began to change was after a relationship of sorts where I kind of lost myself.
Mhm.
And I needed to find who I was, and I needed to feel strong, and I needed to feel confident. And I set out on a goal to see if I could achieve six-pack abs. I was like, no one in my family has ever done this. I don't even know if it's possible, but I just needed that symbol of strength and discipline and perseverance. And that kicked it all off. And since then, there's been many different sports, bodybuilding, pole dancing, triathlons. There's been many challenges, being unemployed, being depressed, grieving. But fitness and health has always been the constant.
Good deal. I forgot to start my timer, but we're good to go. What brought you out to Los Angeles?
Oh, well, like everyone else, I came for film and television, and I worked on a few different commercials and shows. I think the most popular show that I worked on would have been a day played on New Girl, and I worked on Hot in Cleveland and The Soul Man. It was fun. I loved it.
Cool. So you said you were an athlete all the way up until college. So in your prep high school career, what sports were you active in?
Oh, track and field, baby.
Nice. You know, I'm a track coach.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm a track coach here at Jim Hill High School in Jackson. So what
Yes.
events do you do or did you do?
So I was I guess like a filler, one would say, because I did every single relay up to the 800.
Okay.
And then I did discus.
Nice. How were those numbers looking? And the discus?
Ooh, oh my gosh, I can't remember. I don't know.
Hey, no, that's fine. That is absolutely fine.
That was one of those events that you're trained in to get points for the team,
Right.
not so much because you personally love it, but
Mhm.
you go where your coach tells you to go so the team can win.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. So what did you major in college?
Film and theater.
Oh, cool. That's
Mhm.
so dope. That is so dope. So tell me a little bit about your background in film and theater. You said you had a couple commercials and spots in television. So tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, I was in background. So PA work, second AD work, some second AD work. If it was super independent, I did stage managing and theater. So it was a talent wrangler. So all of the behind the scenes.
Got you. Cool. That's cool. Because hey, that setup work, the background plays a lot into what goes in front.
Oh, it's everything.
exactly. I had a buddy of mine named Ian. Uh, in terms of working out, he was like, the front's for show, but the back makes you go. Uh, it's
Yes.
the same. It's the same with film and television too. But yeah, you got a little excited about that. Let's look what you know about the back. Let's talk about that posterior chain.
Are you kidding me? Like I'm a pain-free performance, I'm a pain-free movement specialist, if you will, right? That's a title I'm giving myself. But I work with a lot of women with knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, hip pain, and a lot of that gets cleared up just by working the posterior chain, right? Just by getting those rows in, getting your hitting your glutes, and just hammering those dormant muscle groups, and it changes everything. Everything changes from there.
I love that glow you just had, man. That just lets me know you are really into what you are doing. And like you said,
Thank you.
that key word, dormant, you use.
Mm.
It's a lot of muscles that, like, especially now that the world is kind of set in and virtual. These posterior muscles, the six deep external rotators, all those are underused. They were already underused, but now they're even more underused. I like how you said that, dormant. So we talked about what got you started into fitness. You were going through a rough time, and you said you needed to feel strong in yourself, and you wanted to get that six pack. How long did it take you to get that six pack?
Ooh, let's see. So I started working out by myself in January. It was a goal I had for my birthday. And I got a coach in October. So I probably, no. I didn't get a coach in October because I had the six packs were coming in by October. So I must have started with Awana in September. And so by October, November, I was able to see my abs.
Okay, so about what's that? About 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about your business, Lift and Flow Performance. How did it get started, and what all do you do?
Wow, that business went through some changes. It got started with pole dance being a huge part of it. As a matter of fact, I did with my partner Sasha, and since then it moved more into pain-free movements. Weight loss has kind of always been in there, but as a benefit, so we focused a lot on habits and perfecting and building really good habits, whether it's something seemingly as simple as eating slowly, to getting 6 servings of veggies a day, to prepping your meals, to setting an evening and a morning routine to start in your day effectively, to make sure you get to bed on time and sleep well. So lots of different nutrition and lifestyle habits, and all of our strength training is typically low impact. I feel like you can do all the jumping around stuff. You can just find somebody that's doing that on Instagram.
Right.
But where I come into play is to actually customize to your body so that you can then go do all the jumping around stuff without injury. So I focus a lot on what I like to call boring foundational movements, but the end result is someone whose body is way more resilient, way more flexible, way less in pain, if any pain is left over, and stronger, more confident than they could have ever imagined.
Man, that's so dope that you said that. You said boring exercises. I've had.
Yes.
I remember when I first started for the health of it, I was doing like my own personal training, and I had like some group exercise classes. She might kill me when she hears this, but my sister started coming out with me, and she stopped, and she never told me why she stopped. And I ain't gonna, I really wasn't gonna charge her, but she stopped. And when she stopped, word got to me that she was like, he do too much stretching for me. It's too boring out there. And I was like, but you were the one catching the crap during the stretches that we were doing. So,
Right.
I'm loving hearing what you're saying, because you cannot build on a crappy foundation. So I love hearing that. So have you ever had any clients come to you and like they kind of they're like, I was with this other guy and I just hurt myself like 2 weeks in or anything like that?
Yeah, that's most of what I get. That's why the focus ended up shifting that way. And I started learning a lot more myself and going to other coaches who specialized in pain-free movement, specialized in the glutes, right? Like I ended up hiring Brett Contreras as my trainer to learn from him, as well as read every single one of his blogs and test on myself, then test on my clients. I have his book, the Glute Lab. I learned under John Russell and went to his pain-free seminar. So I started really diving into that because these women were just, that's what I was getting. So I was like, well, let me hone in on this and give that a little bit more time and attention so that I can be there.
Right.
In an even better way when the next person comes.
Yeah, that's
so yeah, I get that all the time.
That's so cool. So what's your clientele look like?
What do you mean when you say that?
The makeup of them, like age-wise, gender.
Okay, so women, I like to work with women. Not that I can't work with guys, but I do like to work with women. And typically at the youngest, I would say 35, but most of the time they're 40 and above, 40 to 65.
Okay, oh, that's cool. That's cool. And then like as far as fitness level, probably ranges from like super untrained to train.
Most of them I would say would be super untrained to intermediate.
Okay.
If they're on the super trained side, which I actually just signed someone new today, I'm super excited about because she's a former athlete. If they're on the trained side, then they have not been training for at least 3 years. And so they're looking to ease back into that safely so that they can go and do all the crazy things that they were doing before.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I don't get those too often. When I do though, it's fun.
Yeah,
I don't get them too often.
Yeah, because you're kind of stuck doing that untrained stuff, the boring stuff, but then you kind of get to stretch your arms and kind of flex.
Yes.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I love that. You mentioned that you did some triathlons and all this other stuff. Tell me about your, please don't take offense to this, your weekend warrior activities that you did.
Okay, yeah. So I would definitely never use the words weekend warrior in conjunction with myself.
Right.
But as far as all those activities, they usually come at different times for different reasons. For example, bodybuilding came first pole dancing came first for that need to feel right, confident and strong, which segued into bodybuilding. From there was a loss. My godmother passed, and I needed something that was completely outside of my comfort zone that I felt like there was no way I could accomplish to get me through that grieving process. And I ended up doing a sprint triathlon in her name. And it was tough. I mean, every morning when I got up to do my running, I was crying. It was therapeutic and challenging the entire time. And then shortly after that was powerlifting. Again, I found myself in a fitness rut and I needed to do something else. And somewhere in between there was like Krav Maga and other things to
just the most deadly martial art out there, Okay.
Well, and what I've discovered is functional training is my base.
Right.
But I need to be able to express that in another way. I don't want to be strong and resilient and flexible just for me. Like, what does this allow me to do? And let me explore that.
Gotcha. That's what's up. So when you competed in bodybuilding, what category of bodybuilding were you?
Figure.
Okay. All right. Nice. I had a couple bodybuilders on before, and I just had one lady so far, and I had two guys. No, I had three guys. Obviously, the guys, they were is physique the biggest one for the guys?
No, bodybuilding is the biggest one.
Okay, so yeah, they were in the biggest one. Well, one guy was physique is the one where they wear the board shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one guy was in that, and he's transitioning into bodybuilding.
Wow.
But the lady category, it goes bikini then figure.
Correct.
Okay, all right, good. Man, that's
Then women's physique.
right. Your bodies are like a work of art. The training that y'all go into, the last guy or the second bodybuilder that I had him on in conjunction with another military veteran. He was shouting her out. He was like, "You're a real athlete, this, and this." And we both looked at him and was like, "Dude, like the work y'all go through, y'all are athletes too, man." So that is dope that you did that. So how long did you do that for?
I did 2 competitions, so that was a crossover somewhere in like end of 2013 and 2014.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And then you went from bodybuilding. You said in between bodybuilding and powerlifting was Krav Maga, but
There was a lot. The timeline is all meddled in there. But right after bodybuilding, I went back to pole dancing and did a few more competitions there.
so what is pole dancing?
Well, what do you think pole dancing is?
I assume it's the pole, and then they just
Yes.
dance around it. But I didn't know there were like competitions and everything too.
Yes. It can get, there's all kinds. You have competitions on the super exotic level. You have competitions that are more strength based. You have competitions that are extremely artistic. There's all kinds and all over the world.
I gotta look into that. I never heard of competitions. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
That is really all right. So let's talk about your powerlifting stint that you went into. If you don't, what category were you in for powerlifting, weight class wise?
Oh yes, it's in kilograms, and I always forget the conversion. Ooh, I don't know, but my weight in pounds, because I did a weight cut, so my weight in pounds, I think, was the highest was 138 or somewhere around there.
Okay.
So I forget what that conversion is.
Don't ask me.
Okay.
Yeah, don't. We're not even finna worry about it. We are not finna worry about it. Not today. This is not math class in here. So you talked about well, let's stick there for a little bit. What were your highest numbers, if you don't mind me asking, if you remember?
Oh, yes. Let's see if I can remember my meet numbers, because my actual numbers in practice went up after my last competition. I want to say, I'm going to go in pounds. My bench was around 145. My squat, I think, was around 265 or 270.
Okay.
And my deadlift was 315. But that should have been higher. The squat and the bench, that was literally at the max. The deadlift, I could have gone more. I'm always scared when it comes to my back.
Right. Now I understand that deadlift is, in my mind, to me personally, like me as an athlete, it's one of the hardest moves to do. I just
Yes.
I think about it too much when I get up there, and I just struggle with it every time. So I commend you for at least competing in it. And how long did you do powerlifting?
Up until the pandemics, I'm actually looking forward to get back into training. I've recently moved around a few locations. So now that I'm settled again, I found a gym, at least online. I have to go and see how they are, but I found a powerlifting gym. So I'm excited to get back into that. And I'm in Florida now, so everything's open.
Nice. So you said you're in Florida?
Now, yes.
Okay, cool. Shoot.
Moved 3 weeks ago.
Oh, nice. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So you mentioned you did a triathlon, then you specifically said a sprint triathlon, and excuse my ignorance, but what is a sprint triathlon?
It's a shorter one. So the swim was only a half mile.
Okay.
The bike was 11 miles, and the run was a 5K, so 3.1 miles.
Okay. All right. Cool. I could do the sprint, and I could do the run, and I could do the bike. Swimming, me and swimming just can't get there yet. But
I had to get a coach for that one. Me too. It was tough.
Man, that's dope, man. So I'm not supposed to ask women this, but how old are you? Because you've done.
I'm 33.
Okay. So we're about the same age. You're a year
Okay.
after me, but man, you've done a lot. You have done a lot. So, and you mentioned you were the second vice president of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. Tell me a little bit about your time and your service with your sorority?
Well, what would you like to know? That was a long time ago. That was from 2008 to 2010.
Okay, well, whatever you can tell. Have you done
Well,
any? Well, go ahead.
I was going to say my biggest takeaway from that time in my life was um, a few things. Being extremely comfortable in crowds and speaking,
Okay.
which I love to do to this day, and uh, really using one's position in a positive way, or if you have a tiny bit of influence, using it for good and not letting it go to waste. And in that position, it was the highest collegiate position, and so doing my very best to represent the collegiate population as much as I could. And I take that to heart to this day. Any level of influence I can give, I believe in doing it, because silence helps no one.
Okay, that's dope. I like that. And what college did you go to?
University of Miami.
Nice, the U. Okay.
Yes.
All right, that's what's up. And did you cross over there?
Yes, I did.
Nice. All right, and then you didn't major in anything fitness wise in college, from my understanding. So
Correct.
what certifications do you have?
I have the NASM's certified personal training certification. I have their fitness nutrition. I have precision nutrition's level 1 certification. I have a pole dance instructor certification. What else? This is now a certification, but when I took it, it wasn't, and that was the pain-free performance seminar I mentioned.
Nice.
And stretch therapy as well. And then lots and lots of reading in between all those.
Right. Yeah. You know, you're definitely well educated from just this 15 minutes we've been on so far. You know your stuff, and I can definitely see it. It's a pleasure talking to you, because I love just talking shop with people, even though we haven't really dove too deep yet. But let's talk about the 5 components of physical fitness and what you think of. And so the 5 components of physical fitness are cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength, muscular endurance, flexibility, and body composition. Out of those 5, which would you feel is the most important, and why?
I would say muscular strength.
Okay.
Because body composition can come as a side effect of it, and so can cardiovascular. And if you're training properly, then so can muscular endurance.
Okay.
So I firmly believe in prioritizing strength training.
Okay, it makes sense to me. Hey, I like your answer. It sounds good to me. What about flexibility?
And that's a huge component, right? Hence lift and flow. So I'm big on stretching, active stretching, mobility as well, right? And not just, and I use that word instead of flexibility, because I say flexibility is your range of motion passively. Right. Mobility is your range of motion with your strength. And while you need both, obviously, you don't want your passive to be more than 20 degrees of what you can do yourself.
Right.
And strength and mobility together, right? Strength and flexibility together just creates a super unstoppable individual. Like, you're talking about an extremely resilient body at that point, because now you have control within your ranges of motion.
Man, that's so dope. Man, that's cool. I like that. I like the way you explained it, and then also I like the way you plugged yourself. Lift and flow performance. I like that. So let's talk about you finding your finding your business. And so how long has your business been active, I guess is the word?
Yes. Well, if we're including when Pole was still a part of it, then since 2016, the end of 2016.
Okay, so coming up on 4 years.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah, yeah.
congratulations. All right. And why did you find it? Like, how did it come about?
Oh, I was working with a friend of mine at the time. I was working for him actually at his gym, and I learned a ton
Mhm.
uh, from him. He was one of my first personal trainers before I got super serious about fitness.
Right.
And when he started his own business, he brought me on. And I'm forever grateful. So I learned a lot, and then I kept reading and kept growing and wanting to experiment and try more things and hit a I hit a ceiling, and there was no room, there was nowhere else for me to go, so I had to start my own.
Hey, I love it. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Growth and financial freedom. That's what's up. That is what's up. So, according to your Facebook, I saw you are from Chicago and you went, from talking to you, you went from Chicago to Miami to California and then
Uh-huh.
back to Florida.
Back to Florida.
All right,
I'm
cool.
in Fort Lauderdale, so just right above Miami.
Nice. Tell me about your time, or have you been back to Chicago, or tell me about Chicago.
So yeah, since we were buying a house, I just went back to Chicago just recently for 3 months. That was the longest that's the longest I've been in Chicago since because I don't even think my summer breaks were that long. I was going to say since my freshman year in college, but probably my longest since I left for college.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I didn't realize how much I had missed my family, and so being reconnected was I could not have asked for a better gift. And then my nephew was born right before I left on my mom's birthday, so I got to thank you. So I got to celebrate a birthday with my mother, which I've only done since I left Chicago twice, I think, and welcome my nephew into the world. So that it was great.
That's cool. That is really cool. Let's see. How has COVID affected your business?
Oh gosh, it almost shut me down for a second. It forced me to go 100% online, which is I was already hybrid at the time, but just taking my time getting into it, and so I had the platform and all the tools set up. So when COVID happened, I was able to quickly shift. The problem wasn't the transition into online. The problem was the impact COVID had on my clients and those that either lost their jobs or their family members lost their jobs and they had to take care of them. So that hit me hard. And we've rebuilt since then. And the only way we've been able to rebuild and keep the income I was used to is by being online, because my overhead is nowhere near what it was before.
Right. Yeah. No, that's dope. That is true. That is so true, man. So, did you have a building before?
I had a space, which conveniently enough, so remember I said I was in hybrid. I actually had just given up the space 2 months before. And so I was paying rent. I was paying just like the regular personal trainer fee at a smaller gym,
Right.
to fit my hybrid model.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
That's cool.
So it was divinely planned that I wasn't locked into a lease.
Yes, ma'am, it is. That is so true. All right. So it's the new year. What tips do you have for getting and staying physically fit?
Okay, this is fun because I prepared for this. I actually wrote it down.
Nice.
All right. So I have, can you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to share your screen? Yeah, I can let you share your screen if you want.
Oh, no. You don't want to see my notes. So I was thinking about this, and while I could probably tweak this even more, I'm just gonna roll with it because we can always overthink things. I would say number one, start with low hanging fruit: sleep, water, and walking. And the reason I put sleep first is because most of us, I discovered during this practice, I had no idea how many people don't sleep well during the night. Either they don't get to bed on time, they don't, or they just rather don't give themselves a bedtime. They're waking up sporadically throughout the night, and it's affecting their lifestyles. That lack of sleep and the added stress from the lack of sleep is causing so many things: depression, anxiety, weight gain, acne. The list can go on of symptoms from an inflamed body that's not being able to recover and actually get rest. So sleep, mastering that and prioritizing it. My mother laughed at me when I was in Chicago. We would sit and like watch TV or something, and she would want to go into the next episode, and I was like, oh, I gotta get ready for bed. And she would say, well, I say it's bedtime. And it was like 8 o'clock. And she's like, it's bedtime at 8? And I said, well, I have to wash my face. I have to prep my food for the next day. I have to set out my clothes. I need to create my schedule for there's things that I'm doing so that I can be in bed by 9
Right.
to wake up by 4:30, And so she was laughing at me because I haven't lived with my mother since I was 18. So she's looking at this routine. She's like, wow, that's incredible what you're able to do.
Right.
But I've mastered my sleep since college. So I'm a little ahead of the game than most people. But so master sleep. Secondly, and when I say master, protect it.
Right.
Don't let other people influence your bedtime.
Right.
You can turn off your phone and you can say no. You have the power to do so. Secondly, water. We are made up of water. Solves all problems.
Right.
Like just drink at least your body weight, half your body weight as a minimum, and I would aim for 96 ounces or more. And then next, walking, because we're mammals. We're meant to be moving, period. Like we are meant to move, full stop. There's nothing else. We all know that, which is why we always feel better when we move. So that would be part 1. Part 1A to that, and this is where, and the only reason I'm making an A, because now money is involved, everything else was free, would be a really good probiotic.
Okay.
If you can improve that digestion, get some good bacteria in you, that can also help you feel good and give you more energy, as that's 80% of our immune system is in our gut. Phase 2, I would say, or part 2, I would say, is to eat slowly and mindfully. Again, we're addressing 2 things here: digestion by eating slowly, and mindfulness, de-stressing. Next would be what I call a fast metabolism smoothie. I got this from someone named Thomas Tatlock, known as a fat loss expert. And this smoothie is 75% veggies, 25% fruit, and a handful of flax seeds or chia seeds for your omega-3s. Get that in daily. I've been doing it for 6 years. And honestly, I think it's the reason why even when my fitness is off, like right now due to moving, I'm still able to maintain health and even keep some muscle mass on. And the last one for that phase 2 would be to do some resistance training. Doesn't mean you have to hit the gym. You can do push-ups at home. You can do lunges at home. You can do sit-ups at home. You can do hip thrusts, glute bridges at home, So do some resistance training. Phase 3, after you've mastered those other ones, would be planning out your meals and getting a coach.
Okay.
The coach will take it from there.
Nice.
It will teach you, the coach will fill in. Like when I started off by myself, but when I got the coach, she filled in those gaps that I was missing. And then I was able to fly again solo. And when I reached my next plateau, I got another coach.
Nice.
So that would be the order I would put that
Okay.
in.
Okay. All right. Cool. So the low hanging fruit, part 1, sleep, water, walking, and then
Yes.
right under that, part A, probiotic, and then
Yes.
phase
A good
2,
one.
Yeah, a good probiotic. Emphasis good. Phase 2 would be eat slowly and eat mindfully.
Yes.
With the smoothie. What kind of smoothie was that?
It's a fast metabolism smoothie.
Fast metabolism smoothie. Okay, and then also you added into phase 2 resistance training, and then in phase 3 you want to plan your meals out, and then get a coach. So I like that.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan to me. Definitely sounds like a good plan. All right.
And I'm gonna add. Sorry, I know you're about to go to the next thing. I want to add the problem the average person faces, and I was one of them,
Mhm.
is starting with phase 3. And not even, most of the times they're not even planning their meals. They'll probably purchase a meal plan.
Right.
And not that there's anything wrong with starting directly with a coach, but as a coach, when someone starts and they haven't mastered that first phase or even come close to starting, it makes my job a little bit more difficult. So the mindset has to be there. You have to already be willing, ready, and able to protect your sleep, drink some water, and do some simple walking. If you can do that, then you can probably jump to phase 3 and let the coach help pull you through phase 2. But starting there makes a world of a difference.
Have you seen that meme where somebody will say something and then it's like a character or somebody else that says this MFer is spitting?
No.
Oh man, so it basically you're spitting. You just spoke the gospel right there. It'll be like what's a good one? It's like I want to do an appropriate one, man. I don't know. I can't think of any, but oh man, I'll think of another one. I'll think of one. I'll let you know. That sounds bad from a podcast, but anyway, no,
Okay.
you just spoke a lot of truth and a lot of gospel right there. That mindset, that's the biggest thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Is really they got to want it for themselves. They
Yes.
definitely have to want it for themselves. And man, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Ah man. So before I get you out of here, Mia, shout out your social media, your link tree, anything you got. If you got any merch or anything like that, shout out that out.
Yes. Okay, I will. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com, just Mia23. Just the word Just Mia and the numbers 23. Same thing on Instagram at just Mia23. And Lift and Flow Performance, facebook.com/Lift and Flow Performance, Instagram, exact same thing at Lift and Flow Performance. You can also go to liftandflowperformance.com. Now, I don't have merch, but I do have a 21-day plant-based meal plan. And this is great to follow all the way through if you want to, or to incorporate meatless meals into your lifestyle. It's complete with recipes and grocery lists. This can be found on the website. Just click, I think at the top it says ebook, or you can go to liftandflowperformance.com/plant-empowered. That's the name of the book, which has several different fast metabolism smoothies in there, by the way.
Okay, cool. And definitely those links will be in the description of this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, and then if you're listening to it audio wise, hey, just run it back a couple of seconds and write down what she said. I don't know how else to put it. I'll see if I can put it in the descriptions, and then it will be on there also.
Corian, this isn't anything to say out loud. This would be for where you will put it, but I have an affiliate link to that good probiotic that I mentioned, that I use and I have my clients use, and it's been absolutely amazing. So if you're dealing with bloat or just want to boost your immune system and just improve your digestion, this is great. If you're dealing with gas, like same thing, this probiotic is everything.
It sounds good to me. Hey, you got anything you want to add before I wrap it up?
No, not at all. I've been, you know what? I'll say this. If you are someone that, because remember I said starting with phase 1, if you're someone that is struggling with that, start slow. The tortoise wins the race. So instead of looking at sleep, water, and walking, pick one. And not to say that you'll start sleeping completely throughout the night immediately, but maybe just setting yourself a bedtime. Maybe just turning your phone off a little bit earlier every night. And, maybe just having an additional glass of water right when you wake up, even if you can't do it throughout the day. Maybe pacing on the phone if you don't have time to get out the house and start walking. So start very, very small, and know that whatever the end result is, you will get there as long as you continue moving forward. 1% better every day makes you 365% better at the end of the year.
Man, hey, Mia, thank you so much. This won't be your only time on. I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you coming on. This has been another episode of For the Health of It. I'm your host, Corian K. Pat Paget. And thank you so much, Mia, for coming on and sharing your wealth with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am.